Hi guys and welcome to our YouTube video for today, the 31st of March 2026. So let's go through the watch list, what is in these stocks, how do we day trade them, and how do we hold this overnight, and how do we look for swing trades. Starting here on VRAX, looking at this in the 5-minute time frame for a day trade, basically in a massive cumulative falling wedge right here as a massive continuation pattern. Very bullish pattern, lots of volume in the stock. I'm watching this over 0.25 for an entry, and I expect this one to run at least 8% and gradually come towards the next resistance of 0.3 once we do break over 0.25. However, I'd be looking for around 10% stop loss in this one, and if we were to lose 0.2, I do think this stock would be done. So keep that in mind for a swing trade, day trade, etc. If we lose 0.2, it would be done. We've also got the Bollinger Bands here, so 95% of price action takes place in the Bollinger Bands. So not only are we going to break a one-day resistance of 0.25 here, we're also going to be breaking the top of the Bollinger Band where 95% of price action takes place, and when we do break them, as you can see, we get big explosive moves like that. So yeah, this should catalyze us into the first target. So removing this now and then going to the 4-hour time frame, what do we need to hold this overnight? So to hold this overnight, it needs a lot, to be honest. Currently just squeezing in between a really big gap of the 60 EMA around 0.2 and the 200 EMA and 200 MA around 0.33. So because even if we were to get a 4-hour close over 0.3, your resistance would be at 0.33. So it's too small of a move in my opinion for a swing trade. I'd rather focus on the bigger moves and the gaps up towards the resistance. And until we break over these levels of 0.33, the 200 EMA and 200 MA on the 4-hour, I'm not interested. So I'm looking more at that 0.37 area. So to focus on the 4-hour daily close, so 4-hour close of a 0.37, holding this overnight, and for a swing trade in towards 0.5 on this one. And again, beneath 0.2, I do believe we are done on VRX, and for a day trade of a 0.25. So looks quite good, that one. And now coming down to BFRG, so I'm watching this over 2. So again, one of our advanced traders caught this one earlier today. I personally traded MASK instead, but this one here, BFRG, again, a cumulative falling wedge. We've sliced through the 1.65 resistance many times now, so it becomes a weaker resistance. We're beneath the Bollinger Band center, so that's important because when we're beneath it, with this orange line, we're 65% more likely to remain beneath it. So therefore, when we're above it, we're 65% more likely to remain above it. So we need to get above this orange line at 1.7, but I won't be looking to take this one until we get a falling wedge breakout against the one-day resistance of 2 here, and I'm looking for at least an 8% move and a gradual continuation towards 2.5 as the next level. However, this one, if we lose 1.3 on this, we've failed the Golden Cross retest in the 5-minute time frame, retesting the 60 EMA, and I believe this one to be done if and completely done if we lose 1.3 on BFRG. So take that into account when we look at holding this overnight on the 4-hour and the daily time frame for swing trades. So for a holding this overnight, I'd wait for 4-hour candle close over 2 by 4 p.m. Eastern time, end of today or end of tomorrow, and that's for all these stocks in the 4-hour time frame. And I'd be expecting continuation towards 3 really as the next level, but the 1-day time frame will tell us more. So waiting for a 4-hour candle close over 2 to hold this overnight, and the daily time frame, the next level I'm guessing would be around 3. Yeah, we're chalking 3 as a resistance over here for a psychological number and test of resistance. So 4-hour candle close over 2 would see us come and test 3. So this one looks better for a swing trade than the previous, which is for a 45% move. Because you have to wait for that 0.37 area to break in the previous stock, which is too far to wait. This one's close to 2 already. It's already been at 1.91, so there should be no problem for breaking 2 at some point today, hopefully, or end of tomorrow. So VRAX looks really good for a day trade, BFRG looks really good for a swing trade, but what about MASK? So I'll call this one around 1.8, you can still see a little marking here. From a trader view, around 75% from the entry point, as you can see, 70%, 75%. And for continuation, this one, we're waiting for 3.5 for a day trade to break. I'm not sure if it will break, it may have already peaked, but putting in a falling wedge like this, again, similar to the previous, we can just do in a 5-minute falling wedge and then wait for the 3.5 area to break for at least an 8% move. However, I think we'll also have a good chance of losing this over lunch and then coming down like this and then re-break 2.5 at some point today in the afternoon. So I'm either looking for a loss of 2.5 and a re-break of 2.5 from 1 p.m. Eastern time for at least an 8% move, or I'm waiting for a break of 3.5 for an 8% move. One of the two for a day trade. And looking at this negatively, if we were to lose, not quite 2.1, but if we were to lose 1.9, it's a failed Golden Cross retest again, and it would be, I expect a big move down on this if we were to lose 1.9 on this as a failed Golden Cross retest. So be careful on that one beneath 1.9. Now removing the falling wedge and looking on a 4-hour time frame for continuation on this. Let's have a look. So then, let's go. So we need a 4-hour candle close over 3.5, full continuation on this one, and expecting it to gap up around for our next resistance, which would be around 4.5. So 4-hour candle close over 3.5 would eradicate this death cross of the 60 EMA, which is currently rejecting from, and engulf and build upon it, and come towards the next resistance of 4.5 from the 25% first target. And a daily close, so I'd focus on the 4-hour on this one. So the 4-hour time frame is the best on this one. So looking at the watch list so far, the 4-hour time frame is best on Mask. BFRG looks good for a swing trade. VRAX looks good for a day trade. So this is because the daily time frame, you're basically waiting for moving averages to be reclaimed, and you've got the main one here, the 60 EMA at 4.85. So you may as well just wait for the 4-hour close over 3.5 and then gap up into 4.5, and then you get once you get over 5, basically, where the 60 EMA is here, then we can start to build up higher. But I'd mainly focus on this 4-hour time frame to hold this overnight with a 4-hour candle close, but end of today, end of tomorrow, 4 p.m. Eastern time, over 3.5, and again beneath 1.9. I expect this one to be done. So that's for these stocks today. Hopefully you can trade them safely, have some green trades for day trades, swing trades, etc. If you want to get alerts, live trading, trade reviews, seminars, publicized trading journals, all of it, options, swing trades, day trades, check us out. Link in the video description and the Twitter bio. So thanks, and catch you all later.